Matt crouched next to the broken bracket on the workshop floor and looked at it for a long moment. Then he called a man named Bob. Welding the unweldable heart. Bugatti's engineering team had been unambiguous about this from the start. Cast aluminum structural components cannot be welded. The specific alloy used in the Chiron's engine mount was too complex, too brittle, and too critical to touch with a torch. Any weld introduced into a structural casting would create micro stress points that could fail without warning. At 261 miles per hour, that kind of failure does not end. Well, Matt drove to Bob's machine shop with the bracket in the back of his car. Bob was not a Bugatti technician. He had no certified facility or laser alignment rig, just decades of experience with exotic alloys and a willingness to look at the problem rather than cite a rulebook. He turned the bracket over in his hands, found the manufacturer's stamps, and identified the compound, an aluminum magnesium alloy. The magnesium content was the critical unknown, too high, and the metal would not just reject the weld, it would bubble, it would burn. Here's the catch. Bob did not touch the bracket with a tool until the metal was ready. He placed the entire casting inside a preheating oven and brought it to a uniform temperature throughout. Because uneven heat in cast aluminum is where fractures begin, not end. When the metal was stable, Bob set up his TIG welder with a 4047 filler rod, chosen for its ability to flow cleanly into the complex geometry of a casting. And he began. Matt stood 2 feet away and did not move. His father stood in the doorway. The metal did not bubble. It did not crack. It held. Bob kept working. When the fracture was sealed, he did not put the torch down. He added aluminum reinforcement ribs along the repaired section, building the bracket up beyond its original factory specification. When he finished, he handed it back without ceremony, the way a man hands back something that was never actually broken, just waiting for the right person to look at it. The engine went back into the car. The two halves of the Bugatti came back together across the workshop floor, guided by Matt and his father. $4 million of hypercar reassembled over the span of weeks by 2 people with basic tools and a bin. 14 titanium bolts torqued down to spec.